Okay, now you should be all set.
Good evening. I'll call the January 15th, 2025 meeting of the Caribou Utility District Board of Trustees to order. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the November 13th monthly meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comments? All those in favor? It's approved. Second on the agenda is the financial reports. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at those?
I'm open if there are any questions, and I'm sure John is as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is for the whole year, or just, this is the last report for the whole last
Yes,
year?
but there will be a lot of adjustments come in for all the bills for December are coming in now. So the auditor will make an adjustment. for
And they
those.
go back on this?
They
Yeah.
will.
So bottom line, are we ahead of the deal, or are we going to be?
From last year at the same time, we were at 99% and the wastewater is at 100% right now. So there isn't much difference between the two as far as the budget is concerned. And then with the water, 90% right at the end of '24, and last year they were at 96%. So the water is looking a little bit better. But
Water expenses appear to be lower this year, and revenue was higher, so that's a good sign on the water side. And then the wastewater side, it looks like it's almost a break even.
Yeah, it looks like it's running a little behind, but
Yeah.
we got some revenues that haven't posted yet for December.
I have everything for December that has come in, yes. And it looks great. The only thing on the wastewater, we are down a little, and that is to do with Tri-Community and the leachate. Of course, we haven't had so much that was pumped into us this year. The billing is up, well, $5,000 roughly. And then it's the same on the water. Our billing has increased for the year.
So the rate increase is just starting though on wastewater.
And that's 20 cents for water and the $5.
Correct, yeah.
Yep.
And there-
Very generally speaking, with the invoices coming in, what are we looking at from a, I mean, is there anything big that we need to be concerned about, or?
There could be with our fourth quarter solar. If you'll notice on the line items that are for the electrical, there's 503 for wastewater, 513, which is Grimes, and then 603. We hadn't received the October or the September 30th, which is the third quarter bill from them until, well, it was just the first of this month. So I called, they had sent the email, but I didn't get it. It was rerouted through Hugh, and I didn't get it anyway, so we paid that. So that's why you'll see, like, especially on the Grimes, we're a little over right now, but there will be additional coming in for the last 3 months of this year that we have not got. And I think that's the major one that we'll be looking at.
Yeah, and we all, I mean, kind of preaching to the group that the electricity rates have continued to climb, and the new public policy charge showed up, which that, on next year's budget, that's going to be $25,000 more just in that fee alone for the utilities. So it's a sizable increase, and that started midway through the year. So we're starting to see some of it show up in this, but it's hitting us pretty hard when you have a whole bunch of accounts that don't have a lot of usage, but you still have that public policy charge on each one of them.
Yeah.
It adds up. So. I've got just a couple of comments on the wastewater one. There's a few items that are quite a bit higher than budgeted. One being 507, which is the lab supplies, and that also is lab testing. We had a good break in the weather, and with our permit renewal coming up, we snuck in a wet test through a third-party lab to get one of them out of the way before winter sets in, so that was kind of unanticipated, but that was 5,500 or so alone for that. So
Mhm.
if you take that out, it's right in line where we should be. Then the next line item down, plant maintenance, that was mostly the repair to the screen to get that back online. And then the other one that's quite a bit over budget is pump station expenses, and that's a check valve that needs to be replaced that we purchased that was not anticipated, and there is a VFD that was replaced. It was like 5,000, but we had enough issues from that power surge that we've actually run it through the insurance, so we hopefully will be getting reimbursed for that and the other expenses related to the first power outage in November. So we should see a credit for that.
Took out some of the VFDs and controls.
Yeah,
Oh.
it took out a VFD, it took out some on the first one, it took out some lights in the office. That was about it, but the second one was a bunch of controls, a heat pump, lights again, so that one was gonna probably be a bigger claim, but and our insurance company's gonna subrogate against Versant because I think there was a known issue, so it doesn't much matter to us, but on there, they're gonna take care of it on their end, so.
Okay.
John, I have a question under the, where the, Grimes, let me see, 508, those two large items that were for the headworks, none of those were to do with the electrical problems that we had? No. So
No,
there's
they weren't,
okay.
yeah, no, unfortunately.
Because that was 10,000, like you said.
We're lucky they were repairable,
know.
right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Just hoping.
Yeah, it's an old unit, and it's from a company that's from Europe, and they no longer support any parts, manuals, or really any parts, so it's like, we basically brought up like some parts to CAM Manufacturing and said, this is the scraps that we have, can you build us a new one? So it's definitely at the end of its useful life, but
So that's different than the unit that we purchased used from New Hampshire, right? That's
is-
the filter press or whatever it
that,
was.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think that unit was purchased as well, and actually the parts that broke were from that unit that was purchased
Oh,
from, where'd you say it was, New Hampshire, is that right?
yeah, I think it came from New Hampshire.
And I think there's still one more component to put like a backup screen in at some point, but yeah, that one's not in.
Okay, any further discussion on the budgets?
Move to accept the December financial.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the financial reports for November. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Excuse me, it is for December,
December, okay.
please.
Yeah, I thought that was November on my sheet here.
Yeah, oh,
It
sorry.
does say November meeting
Yeah,
within the
okay.
finance. yeah.
Sorry. All right.
I saw that too.
Okay, we're ready for the multi-department update.
Sure. So I've already apologized to Jay in the manager's report. For some reason, I spelled his last name wrong. I just realized it as I rolled in here tonight. So Jay has been reappointed. He's got his paperwork in, and he's conducted the oath swearing in, so he's 100% on board again. We still have the one vacancy to fill. If you want to try to come up with some names and we can reach out to individuals, would be helpful. And then the fiscal year 2025 budget should be available for next meeting. If, has there ever been any thoughts of having like a budget workshop with the trustees, or is it something that's been done in the past? Or?
That is what we had done. I know I attended a couple of them, yep.
Yeah, it has been done in the past, sure. Yeah, I'd be up for it.
Okay. Okay, some kind of more to follow on that, I guess.
Okay, have fun trying to schedule us.
Well, yeah, that could be the
thing.
problem, yeah.
Like herding cats, yeah.
Yeah. That's all I had for multi-departments.
Okay. Water department update.
Sure. The bond bank has done the underwriting on the vacuum and jetter truck, and they don't see any problem with our credit worthiness, so I did sign the purchase order for the new truck. We don't really know a date of when it's going to arrive yet, but it's usually 6 months or so. They said that's what they typically run.
Okay, was that the cost of that was in the last minutes? Is that pretty much held 465?
It is. There was a slight increase because the original quotes were only good for 30 days, and we were over 3 months out from the quote. So that the chassis of the truck did go up by I think it was like about 6,000. So we've split that difference with the manufacturer of the vacuum equipment. But there's still looks like there's going to be enough wiggle room in that grant that it won't cost us really anything else. We'll just because they gave us a little bit extra in the grant to cover the bonding to do the closing. So if it is, it's going to be maybe about $1,000 more.
Yeah. So we're going to have about a little over 200,000. That's going to be through the bond bank, board through the bond bank.
Correct. Yeah.
And what are the term that they're offering? Is it 20-year? Or
It's a 10-year,
10-year,
0%.
And good rate?
0%.
Zero. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Yeah. And since this grant is a water grant, so it'll be purchased through the water department. Typically, the vacuum trucks are a wastewater expense, but
Okay, that'll be another line on our budget in 25, I guess.
Yeah.
At some point.
We received bad news that the drinking water 2025 project list came out, and we were 5th on the backup list. And I think we're far enough down that we probably won't get funded for the river crossing this year. So Jim Ward and I have talked, and we decided that it's time to start reaching out to some other funding agencies. For whatever reason, this project won't score high enough through the drinking water program to qualify for any sort of package. I still don't quite understand why, but this is multiple attempts, and
It could be there's just too much lined up ahead of us.
yeah, if you look at the list, I mean, there's some projects that you could tell are definitely needed and should be higher priority. Some, not so much. So I don't quite understand why some score so much higher than others.
Okay, your wastewater update?
So they sent an email out about we were recognized, the wastewater division was recognized at the Maine Rural Water Trade Show for outstanding wastewater operations, which is nice to see that the hard work that the crew puts in is being recognized on the state level.
Well, that was a great award, and my only complaint about it is there were several of us there, and none of us were
I felt so
told they
bad
were going
about
to
that,
be
too,
receiving
because
the
I was
award,
working
and
at the desk.
we missed it.
Yeah, it was, I had known about it, and we were trying to keep it a secret, and then that morning, things went south here. That was the day we had the power outage.
Yeah.
And so we ended up quickly accepting the award and then leaving to come back to help out with the remaining guys that were here by themselves trying to man the whole town with just 2 employees. So my goal was to let you know, and you know, Sue, that morning, and then
Well,
things
and
were just...
I knew they were shuffling it around.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there were so many that were leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, feel like a missed opportunity and didn't get,
Yeah, I apologize for that.
No,
That's partly on me.
that was the turmoil of the morning.
Yes.
I should have showed it to you when you were down yesterday, Dave. It's a beautiful plaque.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope we do it up good tomorrow evening.
Yeah. The generator at Grimes still is very problematic. During that power outage, it didn't start. And it had just been serviced and checked and everything looked great, and a couple days prior, it had done its weekly exercise, everything was great. So it just seems to be hit or miss with it at this point. When it didn't start that morning, the flows had come up so high because we were getting so much rain and the melts water that the siphon overflowed on the river road, and it not nearly as bad as the last time, but some wastewater did push back into the basement of that home that's there. So we did hire a cleaning company to come in and clean it up, and we're still trying to find a solution to keep it from happening again. A check valve was installed, but sewer check valves are not really made to seal 100% tight, and when that force main, or when that siphon backs up, it turns that gravity line almost into a force main because the pump station continues to push hard on it. So I think there's a fair amount of back pressure on it, so I don't.
Yeah, until it gets enough head pressure on it to close it tightly.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
and even after that, they don't even have really a gasket in them. It's just a plastic on plastic. They're not really made to seal tight because usually the sewer has debris and stuff in it. And so we've briefly talked to Al about it to see if maybe he can see if there's any options he might be able to figure out. He's been doing it for a long time. So.
Yeah, is that, what's the vintage of that generator? Is that from the 80s or is that newer? I can't
No,
remember.
it's older than that. I think I don't even know if it was new to begin with, but it's old. And
Yeah,
that's the one
right.
that
We looked
put,
at it when we were down there last summer when had the session down
Oh,
there.
yeah. So that is the generator that's due to be replaced, hopefully under the FEMA grant. And that application was successfully submitted, so hopefully we'll get it taken care of. But so there was 2 backups on that siphon last year, so it's kind of raised a few flags with the Augusta DEP group, so that we may get some type of action letter coming, but we'll see what it looks like. And
Any idea, rough idea what a unit like that's going for these days?
all in, it's for what did it end up being, Jay? It was almost $500,000
Yeah.
Ooh,
installed. That's
yeah.
generator installation and electrical upgrades.
Surprisingly high.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that were looking at it last summer are like, ooh, this
Yeah.
thing is ancient.
So is that event insurable? I mean, we incurred some costs for the cleanup, which we should be, but
It's a good question. I don't know. The cleanup cost wasn't that much, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I don't know if it was insured the first time. No?
No, our insurance wouldn't
Yeah.
cover it.
They
Wouldn't
wouldn't,
cover-
okay.
No,
okay.
we tried,
Because it's an act of, yeah,
Yeah.
a natural act.
And the same way with this time as well, we checked, the guys checked.
Oh,
as well.
okay.
And they said no.
So this has happened to this home twice now?
At least twice, yeah.
Within the last couple of years, but it's happened several times in the past.
same
We should
home.
have a supply of
Same home.
sandbags, maybe.
Just.
The problem is it pushes back through their house
Oh.
plumbing.
Oh, okay.
It spills on the lawn, which is not a great thing, but that's not a problem. We go in and lime it after, but it's the force of it pushing back through their household plumbing that causes the issue in their basement. And that's where they put the check valve to try to stop that flow from going in the opposite direction,
Yeah, the previous time was a lot worse, but still.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was told too. There was,
Maybe we should look into buying that property. I mean, somebody
yeah,
at some point is gonna say, hey,
yeah.
whatever.
I'm hoping we come up with a solution that we can have a permanent fix to it. So. That's all I had for wastewater business.
Okay, other business.
The business just, we have the 2024 audit scheduled for the beginning of February. It's the same company we've used in the past, so that should go pretty smooth. And also just want to thank the Caribou crew today. They were out since first thing this morning on Vista on a water main break. And then they had to divert from that because there's a second break down by the old water treatment plant. So they've got that somewhat isolated for tonight, so they'll be back at it again tomorrow. So it's challenging when it's cold and windy and you're out there
Right.
for 10+ hours.
Oh, we haven't had a water break in some time, have we?
No, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Then that's all I had. The last thing I had is just a reminder of the employee appreciation dinner tomorrow evening.
Is that Bar and Grill? Do I remember that right?
Yes, it
Correct,
is.
yeah.
Okay.
And then just want to confirm our next meeting. We're scheduled for the 12th. So make sure that works with everybody.
Are you planning a budget workshop before the end of January?
Ideally, that'd be great. If we want to try to get it accepted at our next meeting, we'll have to squeeze it in.
Because I'm gonna be out of town from the 19th to the 30th.
19th. Ooh, okay.
So as long as you can get a third.
Yeah. Okay.
So the week of the 3rd of February, maybe?
Yeah, that would work.
It's a Wednesday.
February 3rd, you said?
Yes, must be.
The week of the 3rd.
Oh, we get 3rd, yeah. Yeah, we can,
What is the actual date down here?
yeah, Monday's the 3rd.
Oh, Monday, so it would be the 5th?
Do you have a preference?
Oh, you're-
You're
for the
still-
meeting?
Still
Workshop,
teaching.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Preference of?
You're still teaching, so
No, I'm good.
you're good, okay, because,
Actually, I'm done. I got done just before Thanksgiving.
okay, so
So,
we could do, maybe we could do a daytime, but that doesn't work for you probably.
I can try to make it work, absolutely.
Okay. Okay,
But
so,
I'm good for either one.
okay. Okay.
So do we have a date or yet, or?
Nope.
But it'll be February, so
Yeah,
just
I
let
mean-
us know. Yeah.
Looking at the calendar, I can do the 3rd for sure. I don't know if we want to just pencil in the 3rd. And then we can talk to Gary. And then Jay, if you want to check.
3rd's
and
not
see
great
if
for
that-
me, but,
Oh, it's not great for you?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
but any other day that week is good.
The conference is the 4th
Right.
through the 6th. What
The
about the-
Augusta conference.
What about the 7th, Friday?
Well, I can shift some stuff around if we could do the 3rd in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's, okay, so
All right.
let's shoot for the afternoon.
You
1
going
o'clock?
to do it at our conference room, or,
Yeah,
yeah,
1 o'clock?
Sure. Works for me.
What- What was the date? 3rd, right?
Third.
The 3rd, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Go back.
Okay, perfect. So then, so get that, and then, so the next meeting will be the 12th.
12th.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's all I had for tonight. I don't know if you have any other
So it's always a little dangerous to let me loose in a group of vendors and other utility people, but I was talking with the CUSI people a little bit, because I took a class from them, and I was asking them about our software, and he said, your legacy system, he said, it won't accommodate any of the new customer interface things that we were talking about. So if we're going to do that, then we've got a major software update looking us in the face at some point.
Yes, we do, and on that same note, we have kind of a major computer upgrade this year too, because the operating system that we're using is no longer supported by Microsoft as of later this year, so we'll have to get all that operating systems up to date, so we'll get the regular antivirus updates that come with the software, so it's probably gonna be a fairly expensive year for computers to begin with. So I think they all need to be upgraded with the exception of mine.
I don't know, have you been generally happy with CUSI?
I think the girls are, yes. If there is a question, they get right on for support.
It seems like they're pretty responsive, and when things
And
go
they'll call,
off the
call
rails.
right back. I mean, there's a snag once in a while, and you're bound to have that.
Well, anyway, something more to think about, right?
So I do have a loaded question, unrelated to software. When you're doing construction projects, are you required to monitor groundwater and/or treat potential groundwater issues? It's a loaded question. The reason I can talk later maybe, but
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, if you hit groundwater, are you having to do any kind of mitigation? And
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
okay,
I haven't come across it, so I don't know
okay.
what the rules are if you strike groundwater.
You're thinking like groundwater in a major installation project?
Yeah.
Like a pipeline
Yeah.
replacement or something.
I don't believe we've run into that since I've been around.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone
Thank you.
else have anything for the good of the order? Well, I'm trained, I'm motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank you all.
reason I
Wait till I get